Our first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated writer and comedian you know best from his work on Saturday Night Live. The second season of his show, That Damn Michael Che, is out now on HBO Max. Let's take a look.
Kim, why don't you tell me why you think our relationship didn't work out?
Because you had a girlfriend.
But what could I have done differently?
You could have told me you had a girlfriend.
All right. Now, what do you think you could have done differently?
What'd you just say to me?
Well, be honest.
You know, when we broke up, he tried to date my sister.
Well, I didn't know.
Yes, you did. Don't lie.
You didn't let me finish. I didn't know that mattered.
You're disgusting.
You dumped me on Juneteenth.
I didn't even know that was a holiday until last year.
Shame on you.
Please welcome back to the show, Michael Che, everybody. Welcome back.
Oh man, this is awesome. Hi, Fred.
Hi. It is very kind of you to come back into the building post the SNL season, because obviously you spent a lot of intense months here, and now you're on summer break.
Yeah, I did not want to do this. It's weird. It's like I love coming to the show. It's always weird coming back into the building though.
Yeah.
Like I almost immediately pressed the 17th floor and all that.
It is a trip that I mean, because, we don't have a summer off here on this show, but you can totally shut your mind off from SNL.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but I encourage it.
Yeah. Although it is very strange that you chose to use your downtime from SNL to do a second sketch show. We've talked about this before. I'm so impressed because I felt like I was just like, there was nothing left of me after SNL, and yet you have found time to do two shows at once.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah.
I think like, I guess it was sold to me kind of like, okay, but what if you could do a sketch show where you can use the N-word a lot? And I was like, that's different enough. I can do that, yeah.
Now, just to make it clear, in that clip we showed, that's you basically having a conference with former girlfriends, getting notes on what could make you a better boyfriend.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriends all sit me down to give me an intervention, but they don't know that they're my ex-girlfriends.
No, that's never, obviously this is not something in real life that you would ever want to have happen.
Nah, it's a fantasy though. Wouldn't that be cool to just like get everybody together and have them kind of all agree as to why you're horrible?
Yeah. I would like it on a person-by-person level, I would like it. I think I would hate them collectively. Like, reaching a consensus about me, I think, would be just devastating.
But it'd be so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because now you don't have to guess anymore. Like, you know exactly what's wrong.
What percentage of the things that you're guessing is wrong about you do you think you're right about?
Well, that's interesting, because I do think that like there are probably a lot of things that's wrong, like that they would think is right. That's actually not true. It's just me being, I don't know, coy and elusive. But no, yeah, I would probably say like 75%.
Do you think that, I wonder if like the criticisms of girlfriends that had on you at like different parts of your life are like massively different just based on where your head was at? Or do you think it's been consistent?
I bet it's been consistent. I could hear, like, sometimes you ever go through a breakup and you almost hear exactly what someone else broke up with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you almost verbatim, somebody broke up with you for that same exact reason. And you're like, oh no, she wasn't lying. I guess I think I owe somebody an apology.
I've done this. I don't need to tell everybody here. I'll be driving with my wife and my 3 kids in the car, and I'll think of like an argument I had with an ex where I know I was wrong, and I'll just go, ugh. And my wife will be like, what? And I'll be like, nothing.
Oh, that's good. I've definitely had that.
Yeah. So we talked before, the first season of That Damn Michael Che, you did at the same time you were doing a season of SNL.
Yeah.
This year, was it a little easier knowing what you were up against?
Yeah, well, because the first season, like, we didn't really know what the show was. Mm-hmm. And I remember Tina told me that, like, I sent, like, Tina some episodes, like, hey, what do you think of the show? And she was like, you don't know what the show is yet, but that's okay. And then I was infuriated because she was exactly right. Like, after the second season, I was like, oh, this is what she's talking about. So, like, once you kind of know what to do with it, then you know exactly how to write it, and then you can kind of delegate easier, and it's so much easier. But it was like, yeah, the first season was way harder than this one.
You have wonderful cameos. Obviously, you have a lot of talented friends.
Yeah.
I think that people think when you have talented friends, it's easy to ask them to do your stuff. But I always feel like they're being asked a million things, and I feel bad asking.
Yeah, I hate asking people for stuff, because especially if it's like my comedy, because I know they're gonna be like, all right, am I gonna have to read about this tomorrow?
You mean
Like
that you're gonna put them in the sort of jackpot of getting in trouble?
Yeah, like maybe I shouldn't say this, but I had like we went out to like Whoopi Goldberg for something, and she was like, absolutely, and I couldn't believe she was like willing to do it. So I had to tell her also in that episode we have a Cosby impersonator, and she was like, no, I can't do it anymore. I was like, yeah, I should have probably started with that one, man. But yeah, but there's like always times where like people want to do it, but I'm also like, man, you got to know what the whole joke is. I can't let you.
Never let Michael Che sell you on a close-up. Like, you definitely want the wide shot.
Yeah, you kind of got to know what the punchline is. It's definitely Bill Cosby trying to make me a drink. You watch the show, it makes sense.
Yeah. No,
In context.
I think they get it. Yeah.
See, a long time ago, Bill Cosby would do this thing. No, I'm kidding.
Now, do you take a break now? Because obviously you're doing a little bit of press for the show, but it's done. You got months off before SNL. Are you going to take a break, or are you one of those workaholics who's going to start doing stand-up again right away?
I'm going to do stand-up probably next week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just like it.
Yeah. I think everybody's happy to hear that.
It's always crazy because it's like my hobbies is my job.
Yeah.
Like, so like anytime I have free time, I'm taking a break from stand-up, that's it. And then I'll go somewhere and I'm like, oh, I wonder what a show would be like in here, you know? And then I end up doing a bar show in London or something or whatever. But it's like usually trying to take a break, the first thing I think to relax is doing stand-up. So it sucks.
You seem, but like that makes sense because you have a very relaxed persona on stage, but do you get nervous when you go do stand-up? Like if you're in London, you're like, I'm gonna go do a set at a bar. Do you think to yourself, as you're driving over, are you thinking like, is this gonna work here? Or are you mostly just really excited?
No, I don't get nervous because the worst case scenario is people who don't have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I hate to say this, but it won't ruin my day. You know what I mean? Like, hey, some shows are for you, some shows are for me.
Well, on behalf of everyone, I do want to stress how much we appreciate your honesty. Hey, congrats on a great second season, and thank you so much for being here, buddy. We really appreciate you coming back to the building. Michael Che, everybody, the second season of That Damn Michael Che is available now on HBO Max. We'll be right back with Kylie Minogue.